With the exception of Isha Scott, Joe Bradley has made it a point to rile up the female below-deck Mediterranean employees. If he wasn't chasing Elena Dubage and Brian Muller at the same time, then he was demeaning Gail Cameron on deck by abusing his position as senior deckhand. Joe referred to her as a princess and said that she wasn't putting in as much effort as the other members of the squad. In the forthcoming episode teaser, the Australian native will finally face her boss. A sneak peek at Season 9, Episode 15 shows Gail and Joe discussing their problems. Tensions between them were evident, and the two struck up a chat on deck. "I'm not sure what's bothering you about me. I strive to put my head down and do whatever it takes to bring you happiness. But occasionally, you're a prick," Gail said to the lead deckhand. "And I don't know if you convince yourself that you're not." "Calling me a princess," she continued. "You are aware that your intentions are bad." Joe protested incoherently, but Gail was determined to get right to the point. "You believe I get treated differently?" she asked him. "Do you believe that my work has decreased?" A montage of Joe micromanaging the deckhand is then shown in the footage. On many occasions, Gail received warnings from her supervisor even though she knew exactly what to do. "There are just 2 charters available. You are free to hold any beliefs you choose." But he answered, "I know what I think." In a candid interview, the Australian native then discussed her difficulties, mostly about needing to put in twice as much effort on deck in order to establish herself. "Many people have preconceived notions about me since I participated in pageants and dancing. However, I played rugby as well, and I'm on deck," she said. "I work really hard not to be called a princess." Joe attempted to defend himself as the argument went on by accusing Gail of having paranoia on his side. "I'm not at all like that," he continued. "Have I ever yelled at someone or done anything similar? Party of one, gaslighting, your table is set." The deckhand went on to say, "Words don't trigger me, intentions trigger me," back in the confessional. He believes that I'm receiving preferential treatment or that I'm not a team player, considering that this is untrue. Therefore, don't describe me in that way. You clearly don't know me, so stop acting like you do. At last, the two reached a mutual understanding. Joe gave Gail a hug after apologizing for his actions. If the talk remedied the problem, only time will tell. According to Below Deck Med spoilers, as the season draws to a close, tensions continue to rise. With just 3 episodes remaining in Season 9, the show isn't letting up on the drama in the slightest. Gail Cameron reached her breaking point this week over Joe Bradley's treatment of her deck. Though Joe just views it as assistance, Gail understands what she's doing and doesn't need his input. The dynamics of the staff were also disrupted with the entrance of Carrie O'Neill, a new cook, particularly in the interior team. Within Deck Med Season 9, Episode 15, opens with Joe attempting to assist Gail on the swim platform once more. Joe strikes up a conversation with Gail as she tries to justify her actions. Joe tries to charm Gail, but it just doesn't work. Rather, she snaps at him for his treatment of her, claiming that Joe is at odds with her. Gail doesn't mince words. She takes full offense when Joe refers to her as a princess and keeps glancing over her work. Things become a little heated when she even questions if Joe feels like she doesn't carry her share of the load. Gail asserts herself in her confessional, saying that Joe needs to speak out if he has an issue with her. Joe asserts in his confessional that his primary goal is to perform well in his role as lead deckhand. They give each other a hug, but it's clear that Gail is tired of Joe making assumptions about her. Joe only wants to finish the remaining charters and put an end to the heat. Captain Sandy Yawn and Chef Jonathan Jono Shillingford both know that he can succeed, so he gets himself fired up for the meal. It's successful since the guests are raving about the supper and won't stop. Chief Stew Isha Scott, meantime, is infatuated with having Carrie on the squad. Carrie, as opposed to Elena Ellie Dubage, is unconcerned with rank and fulfills all requests. As previously reported by monsters and critics, Isha expressed disapproval of Ellie's fixation on the yacht's hierarchy. Carrie gladly complies with Ellie's instructions when Isha asks her to assist Ellie and Bry Muller with birthday party Dacre. Carrie admits in her confessional that she can sense Ellie is attempting to establish her dominance through the setup. Carrie, on the other hand, doesn't give a damn about rank. She's only on the Mystique boat to provide a hand wherever she can. What a welcome change of pace. As Season 9 draws to a conclusion, don't forget to tune in to see how things work out for Carrie and Ellie.